Hey everybody, today is August 6th, 2016. I am on my way to an audition right now. I thought I just might share some ideas on how I prepare for an audition and what I do on audition day. Just so you can see what I do and maybe get some ideas or see that that's something you don't want to do, just to kind of get you thinking. So getting a good night's sleep I think is really important. Unfortunately, I did not. I had a gig. I got home at 2 in the morning this morning. I went to sleep around 2 in the morning. And once the sun comes up, I can't really go back to sleep. So kind of just working on 5 hours of sleep, which isn't too bad. I'd rather have like 7, but you got to deal with what you get. Try not to have any other stuff going on if possible. So for instance, I got a call to do a show tonight, but I turned it down because I don't want to have to worry about if this audition goes over the time that they said it was going to go to. I don't want to have to worry about rushing to the gig, which is all the way on the other side of LA. Well, it's actually in Orange County, so it would take a really long time. So basically my calendar is clear today. The audition is the only thing I'm focusing on today. And I realize I think a lot of people probably won't have the luxury of doing that, but if you do, I think it's a really good thing to try to do. Something else you might want to try is showing up to your audition way ahead of your audition time. So today my audition is at 3:15, and I should be arriving at the place at 2. So that's for a couple reasons. One, I live in LA County, and going up on the 405 or any freeway really almost always sucks. You never know when there's going to be a major accident that's going to either really slow down traffic a lot, or every once in a while just completely shut down the freeway where you're not moving for quite a long time. So, you know how earlier I was talking about how they completely stopped the freeway where, well, on the other side, it is completely stopped. There's a CHP officer that has completely stopped the freeway. So you want to arrive early just in case something like that happens. 2, for me, I don't like feeling rushed. So like today, I don't want to have to arrive at like 3:10 and then run into the audition room without any time to kind of settle in. I like to have time just to kind of chill, go over the music maybe a little bit, but mostly just kind of clear my mind, not think about anything else except for the music. The other thing too is that really shows how professional you are. If you are running into the gig at the last minute, that's a sign to the people who are auditioning you that maybe you're not reliable. And this is something that I know because I taught drumline for 12 years. I did auditions, usually once a year, sometimes twice a year. And those are the kind of things that I would look for. Sometimes I would get students that either wouldn't know the music well, they needed the sheet music, but they didn't bring it with them. Probably a couple times out of those years, I had kids that didn't bring sticks. Like, really? I know sometimes you're nervous and you forget, but that is something that you need to remember to bring. And that's another thing too. For me, because I have a lot of different things going on, checklists are my best friend. So I use this app called Wunderlist, or I think it's Wunderlist. It looks like it's spelled like it's German. I'll put a link. It's a cool app. I like it a lot. And for something like an audition, if you're someone that gets really nervous, it might be a really good idea to make a checklist ahead of time. So on audition day, you have it right there. You don't really have to think about it. You just check off the items and there you go. Then you're ready to go and kick ass at your audition. Don't go to the audition hungry. I don't know about you guys. I get the thing called hangry when if you are hungry, you also get angry. And on top of that, I also become unfocused. Short, really quick story. I was in a college concert band and we were doing a tour around the local high schools for just to kind of promote the college, and I had a drum set solo and I had been doing it all day. I think by the 4th school, because I was so hungry, I kept on thinking about food and wasn't concentrating on the music, and I actually had to stop and start over the piece like twice, which was freaking humiliating. I don't think that had ever happened before that, and so from that day on, which was probably like 15 years ago, I will always eat before a gig or before an audition. So I had a big breakfast this morning, and I also brought snacks with me so that I can eat before the audition. I wouldn't recommend going in super full because that's uncomfortable, but don't go in hungry. That'll just help keep you focused. So the first thing that I do when an audition is coming up is I kind of plan how long I need to learn the music. So for this one, I gave myself 2 weeks to learn the music. With this audition, I needed to do different instruments, and then I also had to do a little bit of choreography. So first I just learned the notes, I just learned the music, and when I do that I learn really slowly, basically just to make sure that I'm playing the rhythms accurately, right? The worst is when you learn something and then maybe like a week down the line you realize that you're playing a couple of the rhythms wrong because you learned it wrong and then you've been practicing it wrong for a week. That's no good, that's a waste of time. So in the beginning I learn everything really slowly just to make sure everything is 100%. And then I slowly speed it up until it gets to the tempo where it needs to be. And then after that, I just keep on running it until it becomes basically like second nature. So hopefully by the time you get to the audition, you don't even have to think about the rhythms, or you don't have to think about the music. It's muscle memory from then on. So you just play it. All right, so it's a really good thing that I arrived early because it took about a half hour for me to find a parking space. Not because there were no parking spaces, but mostly because, I drive an electric car and I needed somewhere to plug, and there were plenty of places, but all the places that I tried didn't work. So when I finally found one, it was a half hour later. So luckily I'm still early, and I'll have time to hopefully just chill out, run through what I need to run through, and hopefully kick some ass. Alright, so just finished the audition. As you can probably see, I'm really sweaty, but I think it went really well. I should hear within this week. We'll see what happens. Driving back home from the audition now. The things that I had to play was a little bit different than what they had described on the form that I filled out. So yeah, having curveballs thrown at you is something that you should kind of expect, and don't freak out. Do the best you can. If the person that's auditioning you is professional and is good, they know that you're going to be nervous. They know that you can most likely perform or play better in a not as stressful situation. But at the same time, the auditioner has to take that into consideration, because if you're someone that can't play stressed out, how are you going to play in front of a bunch of people? Right? So if you're someone that gets really nervous, something that you can do to prepare yourself or kind of practice being nervous like that is to perform whatever it is that you're auditioning for, or whatever it is that you're preparing, perform that in front of people. So if you have a brother or sister, pull them aside, say, hey, let's say it's my audition, right? Say, hey, can I play this little excerpt for you? Just sit there and watch. It'll only take, 30 seconds or whatever. Play it in front of as many people as you can, and that'll really help you practice being able to play while nervous. Something that I think people who are auditioning are looking for also is confidence. And there's a good difference between being confident and being cocky. So you don't want to walk into audition thinking you're God's gift to whatever it is you're auditioning for. You just want to go in knowing you can do whatever it is that they want you to do. Just go in there, be prepared as much as you can be, do your thing. If you get a call back, cool. If not, life moves on. Go do something else. Alright guys, so I found out a few days ago that I made the audition. So I will be in a group called Batare. I will put a link in the description below. You can see a 30-second promo that they filmed. I don't know how long ago it was, but you can get kind of a feel for what the group is about. And I will probably be vlogging about the rehearsals and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully this vlog helped you out. If you have any comments, go ahead and leave them. Any questions, let me know. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.